The story of Jonathan Antoine is not merely a tale of a reality show contestant who struck gold. It is a profound saga of a sensitive soul navigating the treacherous waters of instant global fame while battling internal demons. When he first stepped onto the Britain's Got Talent stage in 2012, he was a shy, self-conscious 17-year-old whose outward appearance invited immediate, unfair skepticism from the judges and the public alike. However, the moment he unleashed his first operatic note, he shattered every preconceived notion, transforming from a bullied schoolboy into a national treasure in a matter of seconds. Behind that monumental voice, Jonathan was struggling with deep-seated insecurities and a history of severe childhood bullying that left him feeling perpetually out of place. His journey since that viral audition has been a relentless pursuit of artistic integrity and personal healing, proving that the most beautiful music often emerges from the most painful silences. When Jonathan stood before Simon Cowell, the atmosphere was thick with a cynical expectation of failure, yet he delivered a performance so transcendent it remains etched in television history. His rendition of The Prayer alongside Charlotte Giaconelli was not just a display of vocal prowess, it was a defiant reclamation of his dignity against a world that had often overlooked him. The immediate viral explosion of that clip turned Jonathan into an overnight sensation, drawing comparisons to the legendary Luciano Pavarotti and placing him under a microscope he was never prepared for. This sudden transition from the shadows of a Chigwell high school to the blinding lights of global stardom was a jarring experience that would set the stage for years of public scrutiny and personal growth. He wasn't just a singer, he was a symbol of the underdog's triumph, a narrative that the public embraced with a fervor that was both supporting and suffocating. The duo of Jonathan and Charlotte became a cornerstone of the BGT legacy, representing a pure, unpolished friendship that resonated deeply with millions of viewers across the globe. Charlotte acted as Jonathan's emotional anchor, providing the confidence he lacked and shielding him from the overwhelming pressure of the competition's final rounds. Their debut album, Together, was a commercial juggernaut, proving that their chemistry was not just a television gimmick, but a legitimate musical force in the classical crossover genre. However, even as they toured and recorded, the seeds of artistic divergence were being sown, as Jonathan's heart beat for the traditional operatic stage, while Charlotte leaned toward contemporary sounds. This partnership was a beautiful, necessary chapter that allowed Jonathan to find his footing in the industry. Yet it also highlighted the reality that his massive voice might eventually need a stage of its own to truly flourish. In 2014, the announcement that Jonathan and Charlotte were parting ways sent shockwaves through their fanbase, marking a terrifying moment of vulnerability for the young tenor. Stepping out from behind the safety of a duo meant that Jonathan had to face the world entirely on his own, with no one to share the burden of expectation or the sting of criticism. His debut solo album, Tenor, was a bold declaration of his intent to be taken seriously as a classical artist, featuring demanding pieces that tested the very limits of his technical abilities. The success of this transition was a testament to his resilience, as he successfully shed the talent show contestant label to become a respected figure in the international opera community. It was during this period that Jonathan began to truly understand the weight of his own gift, realizing that his voice was a bridge between his private struggles and the hearts of a global audience. Long before the applause of thousands, Jonathan's life was defined by the cruel whispers and overt hostility of schoolyard bullies, who targeted him for his weight and his sensitive nature. These early traumas did not evaporate with fame. Instead, they morphed into a persistent shadow of depression and self-doubt that haunted his most successful professional moments. Jonathan has been remarkably candid about how these experiences scarred his psyche, admitting that the internal voice of the bully is often louder than the cheers of a sold-out auditorium. By speaking openly about his mental health struggles, he has humanized the celebrity experience, showing that wealth and acclaim are not magic cures for the wounds of the past. His advocacy for kindness and his refusal to hide his pain have made him a beacon of hope for young people who feel marginalized, proving that your history does not have to dictate your destiny. For years, Jonathan's physical appearance was a focal point of tabloid discussion, a cruel distraction from the immense talent he brought to the stage every time he performed. In a powerful move of self-reclamation, he eventually embarked on a weight loss journey that was motivated not by a desire to fit a Hollywood mold, but by a need for health and stamina. By losing a significant amount of weight through disciplined walking and nutritional changes, he signaled a shift from being a passive victim of public opinion to an active participant in his own well-being.
This transformation was more than just aesthetic. It reflected a newfound respect for his body as the vessel for his voice, allowing him to command the stage with a vitality he had never before possessed. Fans watched in awe as a more confident, energized Jonathan emerged, proving that true change only happens when it is driven by self-love rather than external pressure. Jonathan's romantic life has been a subject of intense curiosity, yet he has managed to navigate it with a grace and privacy that is rare for someone who found fame so young. After years of dismissing rumors regarding a romance with Charlotte, he eventually found a deep, soul-stirring connection with a Canadian woman named Michelle Doucet. Their relationship, which began in the digital world, became a vital source of stability and inspiration for Jonathan, serving as the primary muse for his evocative 2016 album, Believe. Michelle provided a safe harbor away from the frantic pace of the music industry, allowing Jonathan to experience the joys of a normal life despite his extraordinary circumstances. By keeping the details of his relationship relatively guarded, he has preserved a sense of sacredness around his personal life, ensuring that his public identity remains focused on the artistry he works so hard to perfect. In a moving and pivotal moment in 2022, Jonathan shared with his followers that he had been diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum, a revelation that provided him with a new lens.
For his entire life, he had felt out of step with the world, struggling with social nuances and sensory overloads that others seemed to navigate with ease without any explanation. This diagnosis was not a label of limitation for him, but rather a key that unlocked a deeper understanding of his own behaviors, his intense focus, and his unique relationship with music. By sharing this journey publicly, Jonathan shattered stigma surrounding neurodiversity, showing that being autistic is not an obstacle to greatness, but a different way of experiencing the beauty of the world. It explained why music had always been his primary language, a structured and emotive world where he felt entirely safe and understood, unlike the chaotic social landscape. Despite achieving a net worth estimated between $1.5 million and $5 million, Jonathan has remained remarkably disconnected from the typical trappings of celebrity wealth and excess. His financial stability is the result of consistent album sales and international tours, yet he views money primarily as a tool that allows him to continue his artistic pursuits and support his family. He has avoided the pitfalls of flash-in-the-pan reality stars, instead building a sustainable career through a dedicated fan base that values his authenticity over his chart positions.
Jonathan's grounded nature is a reflection of his humble beginnings in Essex, and he continues to live a life that prioritizes artistic growth and personal peace over the pursuit of material status. This financial independence has granted him the rare freedom to choose projects that align with his soul, ensuring that every note he sings is infused with genuine passion and purpose. As Jonathan Antoine looks toward the future, he does so with a sense of clarity and purpose that was absent during his initial whirlwind introduction to the world in 2012. He continues to push the boundaries of the classical crossover genre, hinting at future compositions and international collaborations that will further solidify his place as a vocal icon. His journey is a living testament to the power of resilience, proving that one can survive the crushing weight of public expectation and emerge with a spirit that is both stronger and more refined. Jonathan is no longer just the boy from BGT. He is a mature artist, an advocate, and a man who has finally learned to love the person behind the legendary voice. The world continues to watch and listen, not just because of the notes he can hit, but because of the profound human story of survival and triumph that he tells with every single breath he takes.